Welcome back. Today our guest is Stefano Terrazzino. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
I hope I pronounced that correctly.
Very good.
One day. Italian is on my bucket list one day. I don't speak it yet, but...
Yeah, cool. I will be back.
Yeah, I love the melody. We'll talk about languages later on. But just to give a bit of a preview for our listeners, Stefano speaks 5 languages.
4.5.
We have Italian, obviously, because you're Italian. We have Polish, English, German, because you were born in Germany, which some people,
Yes.
they might not know, and a bit of French.
It's quite forgotten.
I always give this round of introduction for our listeners, and this time I decided that I want to start by saying why I decided to have you here. And I was on Instagram. The other night, I was on Instagram scrolling, and I saw this interview with Piotr Jędrzejek, who was hosting 7 Minut na Gości. You participated in this interview. And he asked you this question. He asked you if you consider yourself a successful person, and to which you responded that you're more of a person of a passion, and that success is a byproduct of your passion, is like it's merely like a side effect.
Yes.
And I was intrigued by it because as a society, we look at success in a different way. We see it as like, we equate this with like external achievements, like career, milestones of your career or whatever. But your perspective, I think it shifts it entirely. You view success as something that naturally follows if you're driven by passion. And I was intrigued by it. And dancing, clearly has been passion of yours for so many years. And I want to start there. In particular, I want to talk about, tell me if I pronounce it correctly, Ritmo di Sicilia.
Ritmo di Sicilia, tak.
I want to start.
Yes.
I want to start there because you organize trips for women who want to discover themselves through the art of dance.
Yes, this is again a side effect that they start to discover of them. This life which comes across through this dances, and then when they come there, or there are a lot of women which a friend was there, and they tell them to come. They convince them. You have to. It's really a great week. It's a week where they come, and thanks to dance, thanks to the environment in Sicily, this different mentality, they let go
of all the
they open up a little bit. Dancing is very intimate. Something which in the beginning you have a lot of barriers. Yes, you can say barriers, barrier, and I'm mixing all languages actually. Plus a different mentality. You look how people are there and how they behave. In a way, this has influence to these women, and they start to, in a way, open up. And this is a side effect. So I'm doing dance trips, and knowing local Sicily, a real Sicily, I would like to show them, because it's the Sicily which I miss, because I never lived there longer than 1 or 2 months. So I show them the parts where I had my childhood, and this together creates this nice side effect. The women come back recharged,
and it's set in nature, right? There's beautiful landscapes. Do you think it enhances, like it contributes to this whole experience? Because to me, this is like whole experience. They learn how to dance, but they also. It's a group of women, right? They talk to each other. So it's the whole experience. And I feel like the fact that it's based in nature, it's set in nature, it's really beautiful, no?
For sure also. For me, the DNA of this project is the spirit of Sicily, which means to me. So it's also a feeling of home. It's not a hotel. It's not everyone has their own room. Some people, there come some women which don't know each other, and they sleep in one bed. And in the beginning, it's
a bit intimidating.
Yes, very much.
Right?
But then, thanks to this, they open up and they say, "Oh, we go back to Colonia," like these camps when they were children. So I did it because I wanted to have this feeling of home, which I know, and it's surrounded by nature. And nature, yes, it's a big role in this, because you just look at it and you just and you just feel well when you look at this beauty and this perfect imperfection of the nature, what gives you. And altogether it's really a combination of stuff which created this. I did it 12 years ago because I missed Sicily, because I was teaching a lot of dance. So I did once, just like this. There was not all this imagination. And then I started to observe what all this thing did with the women, and I felt it's kind of a mission for me. Like, I like it, and I felt also good in the role of hosting, showing them the Sicily. For me, it's very natural. It's not a work. And yes, so it's 12 years, and after 8 years, I knew that I have to build my place. So had a lot of influence also in my life, I can say, because thanks to this, I understood what I could do also for future, something I would like to do, and also helps me in a way maybe come back to Sicily, at least partly, because I always dreamed of that, but I didn't have also an idea what to do there.
It's interesting because it's like you're influencing other women, but it's also a self-discovery thing, which is beautiful. I have a question. Do you believe that movement and dance can unlock certain emotions in women, or in general?
In general, for sure. I think there's a lot of connections, body, emotions. Yes, it's just connected. So sometimes if you move some things, you move also some emotions. We don't know all. There is so much unexplored. I just can say that I see the result. I see what dance does with people, and generally all the dancing couple. So what does in a relationship, but the movement itself, what does with people. They come in a certain mood and they come back and they go back with a completely different mood.
So going back to Ritmo di Sicilia, you see this transition of women after this week of...
Yeah, for sure. Transition of woman is maybe for sure an impulse for transition, because you don't do it in a week.
It's a good starting point.
It's a starting point, because then you see maybe because of the start, they get inspired to, when they go back in their cities, to do something, or they go in dance classes, or they go back to the passion which they want to do. They start to paint something. I think one thing is in common. I see that they fight more for their own space. This I can say in general.
They build this self-confidence in a way.
Yes. They start to get to know each other. Also because of the kind of comparing is maybe not the right word with the other women, but like this, the talking and this exchanging.
Like feeling of belonging, right? It's like sense of belonging. There's a group of women. Also. They talk, and I think like that helps.
And support. And all this woman power, which is, we hear about this. There I can experience, I see this. Sometimes there are some dramas, which is normal, but
in the bigger picture, it's a nice.
Yes, but it's in the bigger picture. Maybe they always say, because it's just 1 week. It's like we don't get there to the point to have some tensions. No, but it's really something. A great project, really like human project, which also I learn a lot. I learn a lot from them, and I get very much back. They always write me now. I came back, so they're very thankful, and they thank me that I create this, and we see how much you put in this, how much heart you put in this. And they think it's one way, but I always say I get a lot back. You don't know this. It's really a win-win situation.
Has dancing always been your passion? What initially drew you to dance?
Sorry?
Has dancing always been your passion? Like what initially drew you to dancing? Dancing in general.
I had always my world as a child, my own world. I like to fantasize. So this was for sure when I was a little child. I loved always to create, or manually a lot of stuff, painting or building houses and all the stuff. So this was the passion genre, to create. And that's why in the beginning, maybe I was very close in my own world, as I just said. The dancing came, actually, it was supposed that from the parents, they pushed me to go for dancing just to become myself more self-confident.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't know that I have any talent or anything for this. And yeah, this was surprisingly went well. I had kind of passion and talent for that. And I started very late. It was 15.
Mm-hmm.
So it was not always. But what I dreamt, often it was about this, maybe the scene in general. I was pretending to sing.
You were an artist since you were
imitating
I
somebody.
do believe in that you're born with some set of characteristics that make you an artist, and like that you develop them throughout your life. So as you said, you've been creative, you've been doing stuff manually. So that explains a lot, I think.
Yeah, I think everybody's an artist in a way that everybody has possibility to potential, creative potential. I think every one of one. It's not being creative means you have to be an artist. But some people maybe have this need to communicate to the world. It's like this through a form. They want to share, or maybe they want to experience it together with the people, if they feel the same, if I'm not alone with this. So it's this kind of more need, what I felt for sure. And now later on, I understand that there's this kind of need.
You also combine passion with running a business. You open a coffee shop in Warsaw.
Not in Amsterdam.
I want to talk about that because I haven't been there. But it's a coffee shop with gelatos. Is it how you say that? Yeah. And in one of your interviews, you said that it's your second home. I want to know what was the motivation for you to open it up. Is it more like creating this, safe space of like dolce far niente where people can come and like slow down a little bit and have like meaningful conversations and like just enjoy the moment? Was it the motivation?
Some sort of, but it's always similar characteristics where I try to, which inspire me to do things. Again, it wasn't the COVID time where there was no concerts, there was no theater, less work in TV. So I was not afraid. Fortunately, I wasn't like, but in a way I thought, okay, there's no this work, so maybe do something else. I was like very like accepting the stuff. And 16 years ago, when we were swimming in Sicily in the sea, my best friend, and then came the owner of the biggest gelateria, so ice shop for our part, where I was going with my grandfather. And he was swimming there. I said, hey, you don't want maybe to open a good ice shop in Warsaw and you show them how it's really good ice? And I said, no, I don't have the head for this now. But I know really Sicilian ice. And I said, yes, well, it's cool because I love everything with Sicilian. But it was just the beginning. I was in TV. I didn't know if I stay in Poland. I was like not knowing who I am. And now he came with his eyes. So 15 years later, the COVID, I called him if the offer is still actual. No. And then he said, no problem, I can help you. Well, and then I started this. It had to be like little ice cream shop with some.
Because gelato, it's an ice cream, but why does it have a different name? Is it the way that it's being made? Is it different? Like
yes, they say very much like lode. Also in Polish is different. It's a kind of it's because of the milk and cream proportion. So the Italian very proud is gelato and it's not ice cream because they do it completely different way. So it's kind of, you can say there are difference. So this coffee shop, I had some Sicilian desserts, yes, cannolo, sfogliatelle, and ice cream. And then I find a place in Praga Południe, which was bigger than I was looking for. And then I thought, maybe I do a small dance hall in the back.
So you combine the two.
Yes,
right?
to combine, to give some lesson. Now I started lesson and then became a lot of the lessons. No, and then I saw that I liked it because I never wanted a own dance school. I didn't want to be fixed on a place. I like my freedom. And I was a completely freelancer and I was afraid of this. But I didn't expect when I opened this, and I did it in the mood of Sicily. So as you said, in this it's like a place of meeting. I love people and I want to give this feeling of home again. So it's everywhere this is similar.
I see this pattern.
Yes, it's very similar
Going back
pattern.
to-
I also get to know myself.
Yeah.
why I'm doing this. Kind of feel of home. And then I realized that I like it. I like something which is repeating. I was afraid of, I don't like routine or something is the same. My God, I like always something changing. And then it was cool. It was like, it was
You
very
can
relaxed.
rest,
Yes, I
right?
can rest.
Yeah.
That's why I call it my second home. I'm there. I know all the people. I know the guests. Some people I know from viewing. I know the dogs that are coming in, the same dog every Sunday. And I'm dancing there. It's like I have a big house. I'm dancing. Some people coming in. They take some ice and they go. And it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. Is this what I missed? Okay, because I miss also my family in a way. Yes, for sure. And I miss Sicily as a place, as a mood also, life mood. And there it is. Now I have my Sicily in Warsaw, but connected with the country where I feel well, because I feel very good in Warsaw. So I have them closer together.
Brought two worlds,
Yes,
and
yes,
you just
yes.
made one place.
Yes,
out
so
of it.
that's
It's
why it's
beautiful.
something which I again didn't expect and went very, very nice.
People may recognize you from being a dancer, but recently we're seeing another side of Stefano. I mean, the program Twoja twarz brzmi znajomo. You've started as a contestant, and then you participated in Najlepsi edition. And I gotta say, one of the performances really stood out to me. It was the Ryan Gosling performance of I'm Just Ken, was it?
Yes.
But I'm saying this because I saw the other side of Stefano. There was no dancing. There was a lot of gestures. There was a lot of body language. There was a voice. There was acting, something I was not used to. And it was a full-on experience. You know, I was there, I was watching, and I was like, fuck, like it's giving me all the stimuli, all the emotions that I need. I want to know, how do you feel that this experience in this program has contributed to your growth as a well-rounded artist now? Because you gain those experiences, right?
Yes, for sure. Well, this is a big, big topic. When I did the first edition 9 years ago, I think 9 or 10 years ago, I was very afraid because I didn't sing a lot. I was just singing like amateur home, but it was something which I really felt, and I always like to imitate, because in Italy actually, we imitate a lot. Private, I imitate you if you have something. Each friends each other is something which is for us very common. Also, you can say in TV there is a lot of it's really like how you say zawód,
Profession.
Yeah, it's a profession. The imitator in TV.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a art form, we can say, which is very popular. And then I always liked it. Then I saw this show and I said, cool, this could be something for me. I could really have fun. But I was afraid because of the singing. But
you did good in the end.
And and then I went there, I thought I would be like mascot, kind of. And then I started not to work in a way again, I want to do it, because I get so passionate about it. I went so deep in this. And in a way, I found my technique. I became this character. I felt the direction of the public, of the judges, and it was really cool. And this gives me a believing in more myself.
You gain the self-confidence.
Yes, confidence. Yeah. I can do it. Even I always had this feeling I'm too old for something. Always. And I had to deal with this very long. Now I don't have it anymore, and I'm the oldest of the. When you start to dance with 16, everybody went, we can dance for like a hobby, but you don't do nothing with that. And then the singing came also, no, but I'm too old for that. And everybody's actually, the best is not doing nothing, because the people anyway tell you don't do this because you're too old. In a way, I did this always because I just liked the stuff, or it was dancing and singing, or being in theater. And now I know, never listen to that. Doesn't matter.
To the people, right?
Because
the judgment.
Yeah, but, yes, people also.
But also to self-sabotage.
Yes,
both,
yes,
right?
because it comes from outside, and then you also think like this. But then I said, always I go back to the feeling. I like it. It makes me feel
It's a passion of mine.
And that's it. And then a side effect. That's why also the side effect. Suddenly, I'm doing concert. I'm in a show, and it goes well. So good that I like it. I don't have expectation of this stuff, and this is what helps me. So, and this helps me also to do the things, to not think I'm too old for anything.
And if you don't have expectations, sorry to interrupt. If you don't have expectations, then even if you fail, I mean, so what?
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. The fail actually also you need this because you grow.
Yeah,
you grow out of it the most.
And now you're also a judge. How does it feel to be on the other side of the table?
Well, in the beginning, I was. It was exciting. I get very honored actually for this kind of proposition. And now I saw that I really like this role because I feel needed, because I know the other side, and I would like. I want to help them. I feel more that I would like to help them when I say this stuff, not to feel, oh my God, I'm now the one who knows about this. I don't know anything. So more about that I share my experience to help them, to give them inspiration, confidence in a way I can do, because it's at the end of the day, it was really hard because I have to give somebody one. Mm-hmm. Even really, there's not a big difference between the first place and the last. Sometimes really little, but outside it sounds very, very strong. One, like it's worse. No, I try very often to explain that, and yeah, and also to have fun, and that the public has fun. Well, it's quite cool. It's something quite different. Relaxing, quite very, very natural. I feel in that, and also I can be totally myself. There's no like that trying. Sometimes in TV they're trying, oh, maybe you're gonna be the good one or the bad one. It's not about good and bad one. It's about myself. I would like to be Stefano also as a judge, to show what for me is important and how I approach the situation.
I want to move on to talk about other things. We're going to get back to your professional life. And in the end, we will talk about what is, I think, the most important part of your life now, which is Kto ma klucz show. We'll get into that in the end. But for now, I want to discuss and touch upon the topic of languages and culture. Let's start with your journey, with the process of learning Polish, because I want to go back in time to 2006, when you won the 4th edition of Taniec Gwiazdami, Dancing with the Stars. You were performing with Kinga Rusin. And it's a really interesting story because, you didn't speak Polish back then. And the staff at the beginning agreed that you can speak English. But then with time, people noticed that Polish people, it's a bit detached, right? It's a bit off, that you have to speak some Polish. So you've been thrown in at the deep end. And I want to know, what was it like, the beginning? Because it must have been difficult to just be thrown in and be like, just manage.
Yes, it was supposed that I speak in English. And actually, because Kinga spoke very good, she was living in America. And so I said, I think it was also one of the reasons why they combined us together, because of the English. Mm-hmm. And then they saw the first recording. They didn't actually show it yet in TV. And I said, no, it's not possible. It makes the viewer too far away. A Polish woman speaking in English. No, sorry, you have to speak in Polish. What? I don't speak Polish. Whatever. Just
learn it.
Just do it. I said, okay. As I said, I'm like, in a way, in this, a lot of things, I'm quite easygoing and elastic, flexible.
I'm talking about this because it's like, immersing yourself in the language. Yes. And I'm also teaching languages. I teach English and Spanish. So this is also the method that I use to my students, that every time they have a problem with understanding something, I never speak Polish. I always try to explain it in English or Spanish, unless they like beg me for it. Then I'm like, okay, I'm going to use 1 word, 2 words. But I'm saying this immersion because it's actually a thing for people. I've lived abroad, you've lived also abroad, so you are immersed in this
Yes.
culture. Do you think it's...
Yes, it's the best, really. When people ask me how you learn so good Polish, and I say, really, I just live there. It's the best, and just talk. Or if I had some books or not. No, just talking, or also be interested. And it's a very difficult language, and I'm far away of being perfect in this language. But I like the language. I'm interested in it. I ask where it comes from. This word, I'm always mixing with this word. So
there's this curiosity going.
Yes,
right?
there's a lot of curiosity.
Because I mean, you can live abroad for 10 years and not speak a word.
Yes,
because
exactly.
You don't feel like...
Exactly. I know a lot of people like this. So actually in Germany, I saw a lot of Italians which didn't speak after 30 years German. And you have to be open for this. And I was open. And also, plus, I was in TV suddenly. I remember when Kasia Strzynecka was asking the question, the main próba generalna.
Rehearsal?
Yes, the main rehearsal asked, which question gonna give me? And I said, okay, I will say this in Polish. It means this, and this.
Oh, so she was translating?
Yes, she was preparing me. And I was like, oh my God. And then I say this, and I said this. And I was asking how I can say that, and then how to remember this word. Kanapa. I remember, what do you like in Poland to eat?
And you said kanapa.
So Lubisz, and I said, kanapa. In all Polish. And then they all laugh. Kanapki, ja lubię polskie kanapki. To było kanapa. And yes. And then, until today, I'm actually mixing this word, kanapka and kanapa. So, well, this was the way, just making mistakes. But it's also it's a rule. If you don't make mistakes, you don't grow. And it's also you can put in language, in dancing, in life. It's everywhere the same. So it's up to you how you which relation you have with failures and failures. I mean, mistakes are part of the
growing.
Yes,
Success.
It's part of the trip. So. Yeah, and that is the way I did, and I think I'm happy that this way. And then suddenly, when they let me play in some soaps, they knew that I don't speak very good Polish. Actually, this was the character of the character, so of the role. It's interesting that he doesn't speak Polish, and they were trying even to write in a not good Polish. It was so funny because.
So that it looks like it was you.
Yes,
right?
I said, but I don't do these mistakes. Can you speak in Polish? I do anyway. Don't worry. I will just write me in a proper Polish because I do anyway the mistakes. It will be actually more authentic. So, and this then the way I saw first time I had to deal with written Polish when I saw first time it was
which
written.
Is so much different than spoken, right?
Yes, this with and Łukasz, and then it's with this. So, but then you start, what means this? SZ is sh, CZ is czwartek, is the hard one. This is like experiencing it, asking
And how do you maintain and improve your language skills now in Polish? I mean, now you're fluent, but do you still maintain? Do you still learn? Do you read books in Polish?
Yes, no, well, I'm reading, yes, in Polish, that's for sure. But I'm acting in Polish. I'm still is the same things that I'm asking curiosity and asking how things right or how things works. Didn't change so much, but I'm for sure all the time open. All the time I would like to be better. Sometimes I hear, oh, leave it like this because school is like for TV better when you speak bad Polish. So well, I would like to have something different than I have a bad Polish to give people. I understand sometimes can be fun, but I don't want to make it special for sure because I know some celebrities which are not Polish or pretending from other languages that they play with this, which is okay because it's a creation. I don't mind. Everyone makes how he feels. But I hope I can offer something different than not proper Polish.
With language comes a dose of stereotyping always. And there is this stereotype. I wouldn't call it stereotype, actually. It's a fact that Italians, they're very expressive, with the language. And with their hands, they do gestures. And they have a very distinctive way of speaking. I don't know if you noticed, they place the accent at the end. So they speak like this.
Ah, yes. Yes, we have a different melody.
Yeah, but and that's like a linguistic fact. But then there is this stereotype, for example, that I don't know, Italians eat pasta for breakfast, lunch, dinner, which is bullshit. It's not
Yes, of
true.
course.
But I was wondering, how do you manage to navigate these stereotypes? Did it how do you react to people,
Well,
or do you just don't care?
no, it was a time which actually myself I was playing with it, and now I'm more conscious in the last period, especially on the scene, when I'm preparing some show. That in a way, I play with the stereotypes. I give them what they expect. Sometimes I do then the twist or tell them it's not always like this. Sicilia is not only mafia. Actually, this is the one who the most hurts me, will touch me, because it's really not only this. But there's so many things on the world. So people need, Africa is this, Sicilia is this, German is this.
They put it in a box.
One word, it's easier and I understand. So that's why this is the only thing which sometimes, yes, it's something which for a Sicilian is not something not nice, because it's criminals which you fight with. And here's like something, it's Marlon Brando. Here's Marlon Brando, here's Capelush, and but sometimes even I play with that in a fun way, but then at the end to say, well, to give them a different message. The last years for sure I'm trying to break this, right? But you can create a new world in people's head. But I see this. It's noble, but also a lot of stereotypes. Like everything it's built on something what is true. So it's not like completely. It's invented. It's totally. No, I see. We are expressive. So the hands actually it's expressive. It's
not a stereotype. It's a fact.
This is a fact, and we are very expressive. We use all the body to express ourselves. In Sicily a lot. We can speak almost a whole talk
just by gestures.
Yes,
body language,
eyes, and everything is clear. Sometimes I see this, for me it was normal, but I realized this because living in Poland or in Germany, because you don't think about this, because everybody does like that. And then suddenly you see, when I see to a Polish,
what does it mean?
What do you want? And I said, no, I don't want. Let's go from here. Yes, it means I don't want. Let's go from here.
Yeah.
And then say, and say, yes, this means in Sicilian, but still. And then how it works, and then it's like you see that's like even when they do this and things, it's like mechanical.
It's mechanical. It's automatic.
Yes, it's so mechanical. When I show this to Polish friends, and it's funny. Say, okay, yes, this is something really connected with culture.
It's also interesting, Poland and Italy, I mean, we're so closely related, even though the languages they come from, I mean, it's a different family language, but we share a lot of history. That's what we talked off cameras before. There is like Pope, Monte Cassino, other things, but also, those traditional values, like the importance of family, for example. Do you think this explains why Polish people are so sympathetic towards you? That they can relate to you as a person because there are those similarities?
Why to me? I don't know exactly, but I know in general that for Italians, there is a kind of, you have the sympathetic for Italian and then more open door, I felt. I think Polish people like Italy. And there's a lot of connection in the history of also Królowa Bona. Every time I discover something new, if it's something architectural or even Zamość,
city.
Yes, the city.
Yeah.
I think it was made. I don't want to say, but if I remember well, an Italian or a Polish architect was made in a copy of Italian. There was a lot of combination. Yes, a lot of connections always. And you see also when I bring these Polish people in Sicily, in a way, mental is like, a Polish person, when something is a little bit chaotic and open, always, it's cool, it's urocze. Polish say, I don't know if I'm curious if I would bring some German people, some French, if they're gonna react the same.
I don't think so.
That's why I don't want to be stereotypic, but I don't think so too.
Yeah.
And a Polish it feels it's nice. It's też naturalne. For Polish people, something to be natural is very important. You don't hear this naturalne. I heard this word I heard the most in Poland.
Yeah.
In German, I never heard
Yeah.
natürlich. It was not an important issue.
Yeah.
For Polish, it's very important. So, well, there's a lot. It's a good connection between. That's why I feel well in Poland. I feel the best I can say in Poland. I think it's a combination.
Yes, but you're also the exception from the rule. I mean, you're on TV, right? I wonder now, what is the life of an average Italian person? I mean, of course, you don't have the experience yourself, but I'm sure you have Italian friends who live here, and it's different. I still think we're sympathetic towards Italian people. I mean, we're open and there's a lot of similarities, but I wonder what is their life like. I mean, you don't have to give me the whole biography, but I wonder, what it's like for an average Italian person to move to Poland, to live in Warsaw, which is also a different thing because living in Warsaw is different than living in a small town. But what is it like? I
know some people, but it's also like in a positive way. They feel well, and there's a straight away good connection, and people are open to them, and they have a similar to me. Maybe, as you said, it's true. Pan z telewizji, it can help sometimes or not. If somebody doesn't like you, then doesn't help. But I think in general, all Italian I know, they feel very well, and so they didn't hear nothing which is connected that towards Polish people. So actually, also only in a very similar way as I had, also, which I know some people which have restaurants. So you can imagine restaurant, they give food, they give good emotion too. So they're in a way also the people like them. So they feel also very well here. I don't know. I didn't hear any
bad experience.
Badly. No, I had two musicians which were here, which were playing with me. They go back finally.
But overall, good.
One of them, his girlfriend was Polish and took her, so he was very happy. The other one went back, and he felt well here, but it was more about the weather. It was more about the weather, and said, I miss my cornetto and watching at the sea. So this I cannot help you. This I cannot help you. But because he was playing here a lot of concerts, it was like professional wise, he was more happy here, more satisfied. But then at the end was more important cornetto.
Stefano, we're going to move on to the last part of the interview. Kto ma klucz show? And I feel like this is a big part.
Who has the key?
Who has the key? Who has it?
I don't know.
This is a big part of your life now. I will be attending the show on the 22nd of October. I got an invitation from your management. Super happy about it. Really excited to see it with my own eyes because I've read a lot about it. And I want to give you the space now to talk about it, to tell people what they can expect. When I read it, the description, I was like, wow, it's for people who, they are in a relationship, but it's like a different perspective on that. It's about whether relationship you're in is bringing you down or lifting you up. I don't know much about it, so I want to get to know more. Perhaps you want to tell us more about it.
In general, why it's important for me, this project, because it was a project which was created in a moment where I had a little bit of it's a big word, but low in my professional life. I was a little bit a light burnout is maybe, but in a way I was doing stuff which I didn't like, which didn't look like I want. And then I said, I need something to do as I feel.
Out of passion.
Yes, and the thematic was coming back to yourself, like something back to yourself. And I imagined to do it with this kind of music. I had a playlist. I had a vision of it was a concert with some poetry, a little story talking, but more like reflections. Something which straight away, when you think about work, maybe it's difficult to sell. That to come a big public. It's always these two things which you're gonna fight. You do something more commercial, more big, or you do something not typical,
innovative, but that's perhaps more yours. More
yes,
like you, right?
and there's always the connections. And it was a time where I needed something mine, and I didn't care because I also could allow. That's also the other thing I could allow. I had Sicilia in a way. Well, at least if I do the art, if I'm in the scene, I would like to do something for myself. And then I saw one woman role in this, which I thought she was gonna be the right one. I didn't know her well just from seeing. It was Emilia Komarnicka. And I called her. I didn't expect that she would accept.
And she did.
She did. I didn't have script. Normally she's a great actress.
You had a vision.
I had a vision,
plan.
but I didn't have a script. Normally it's like you call a management, then you give a script and you give the dates and you give the things, how it looks. And I had just a vision. And in a way, and somehow now we know because we tell the story often. I know that she felt it. She just felt it, even there was nothing. And out of the concert came out a theater piece, for theater, you can say, which has a story, which is a drama.
What is the story about?
We went to Sicily to make a trailer of something we don't have yet, and in the trailer we did in spots which I always liked, which I thought for this show, we did improvisation, and out of this improvisation in the evenings we watched the scenes, came out the story, and it was a story of a couple in crisis,
going through some
Yes.
shit.
Yes. And now how to go out of it, what to do. That's all the starting point. And we started to do this ourselves. And yes, it came out something. Apart the show, what was amazing 1 year, it was the way to this premiere, the development, what we had, the growing, what we had. It was 1 year of searching, 1 year of talking, 1 year of being open, 1 year of exploring, 1 year of really like being in this thematic, which then changed us, changed me. That's why it's important, the show. And now all this work was, if we propose something like so deeply for person, we have to go, we have to process ourselves, the stuff. So we cannot say about this, these feelings, and we don't know what it's about. So 1 year preparation, and it really was worse because for us it's a big, how you say?
It's a big thing, no? It's a big thing. It's a big endeavor.
Yes,
it's a big. What is the
enrichment?
Yeah, enrichment.
Enrichment. It's a big enrichment for ourselves. And now we see that people, they get a lot because
the people what? Sorry,
they get a lot out of it because our aim was that this is for the people. It's not like to do something to show off. Oh, I can sing, I can dance, and then we can do together. So something we'd like to touch people, would like that also people come back to themselves. So the DNA, what I started in the beginning, went then to myself, to people. And it's happening, and this is really amazing. It's really amazing. So it's a confirmation how things work, or it changes your
point of view, mindset.
Yes, point of view of how things works in the world, or what your believings. And I have now even more stronger believings about this. And people come, and they don't talk about. They start to talk about themselves, and this is what makes us the most happy. Because after watching, they come and they say, "It's how I have the same. Understand this. I have the same. I have this, and they're sharing so much." And some people, and then when some people come, after this we went for a therapist to save our relation, or I know that I finish it, because it's about relation general. It can be with your mom, with your father. It's about relation general. What gives a relation? What is a relation? How important is a human relation? Yes, actually the intimate, the closest in relations has a lot of influence to us. So that's why we watch this the most. But it's really like very nice experience. I don't like to to use too much the word, but this was really a magic experience, all this.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching it. 22nd October in Warsaw. Stefano, it's been a pleasure having you here with us today. Thank you for sharing your stories, for opening up. And I hope you enjoyed it as well.
Yes, well, it's strange to speak in English.
Yeah, but we need to break down those language barriers, right?
Well, yes,
that's what we're here
cool.
How did you feel after? How did you feel?
Yes, it's interesting to speak in a different language. At the end of the day, it's about the will to communicate.
Exactly,
and that's the most important. I always say I speak many languages because I had this. Life brought me to this. At the end of the day, I still love my favorite language, which is dance, because I think in one movement you can say really much more.
That's perfect
and grammatically right.
But that's such a nice way of actually ending this.
Yes, it's my. I forgot this is my sixth language, so not 5 things because dance is my.
Dance is the 6th language.
Yes,
language of love, language of emotions, language of everything.
Yeah, it's too complex to
define it, to put it in one box.
Yes,
Stefano, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much.